Hello guys, welcome to another video. First of all, I said that this story doesn't belong to me, so we're gonna read the full story for ourselves. Go down in the description to find the link to the original post and read the full story for ourselves. That being said, let's get into the video. What if Minato had adopted Obito or a better route? Chapter 50 and Part 50. The final of the Chunin exams were now just 3 weeks away, and every training ground in the village had some working hard to complete as much as they could before their big fight. One training ground in particular was filled extant clones of one particular knuckle-headed ninja. Naruto Namikaze was hard at work trying to complete his father's jutsu. Jiraiya watched as the army of Naruto continued to train on the Rasengan with little success. He was about to step in when he heard the sound of a balloon popping. All of the clones stopped and turned to the source of the sounds. One very nervous looking clone. I dropped it on the ground and it started to roll. Then it popped. Sorry. One of the other clones walked up with an angry look on his face and smacked the other clone on the top of his head, causing him to dispel. The real Naruto started to grumble angrily until he stopped suddenly. He took his balloon out and started to work his chakra on it again. Sure enough, this time it popped. Joraya jumped over. Nice job. How do you finally figure it out? Joraya gave a foxy grin. When I got the clone's memory, I saw that he dropped it and it started rolling. The water was spinning in all different directions when it popped. I used my chakra to spin the water in bunch as many directions as I could manage, and it worked. Guess that's why mine was smooth while yours was bumpy. Mine was smooth and yours was while yours was bumpy. Joraya was glad he had figured it out. Good job. Dispel all of your clones. They are only making this next step harder. Naruto did as he was told, again getting a little dizzy when he did, and looked up to his sensei. All right, so now that I can pop the that you can pop the balloon so that I Alright, so now that I can pop the balloon, what's next? Joraya pulled out a rubber ball. Next, you have to pop this, and next, next, tell me, and tell you what, it's a hell of a lot harder. Next, you have to pop this, and let me tell you, it's a a lot harder. You will need all of the chakra you can get to pop this bad boy. Naruto's stomach started growling. Okay, then let's go get some ramen. I am gonna need my strength. Jiraiya went pale. He would only been paying for his ramen for a couple of days, but Naruto had already almost made him cry. He thanked God he was rich, otherwise he didn't know how in the hell he would be able to bounce back from this kid's appetite. You could hear the sound of impatient growling ringing through the halls of the Senju mansion. Mito sat with her legs crossed on the floor, trying to focus on creating the seal like her mother's on her forehead. It turned out to be much more complicated than she ever anticipated. You didn't just have to put some seal on your forehead, you actually had to link that seal with your entire chakra network. Turns out, while you had sealing hundreds of chakra coils, they all originated from the same location. The seal was designed to store up whatever new chakra was created that wasn't needed, so that it would be released to heal the body without any hand seals. Making sure all the coils linked up in right way took a lot of concentration. If you messed up even once, you had to start all over again. This was Mito's fifth attempt at sealing making the seal, and she was about 3 out of 4 of the way there. It was easy the farthest Mito had gotten. It was easily the farthest Mito had gotten. Sadly, she once again made a small error. Mito knew the instant she made it and screamed, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Tsunade laughed as she watched her daughter. "Don't worry, you will get it eventually. Probably the next time at the rate you have been growing." Mito hoped she was right. She grumbled at herself. It would better be. Naruto had been spending the past 2 days trying to pop that damn rubber ball. Jiraiya said that it was gonna be hard to pop it than the balloon, but this was way beyond hard. He just kept pouring in more and more chakra into it, but it just wouldn't pop. Taking another deep breath and gathering every ounce of chakra he could manage and pour it all into the ball. The ball started to control and twice consent and twist, becoming bumpy. It gave one final expand and then pop. Naruto fell to the ground and started panting. Jiraiya, who had been watching from a nearby tree, came down and gave the boy some water. He couldn't help but be impressed. "Nice job, kid. You are finishing this thing even faster than I did." Jiraiya took a big gulp. Naruto took a big gulp of water and kept panting. "So does this mean I am ready for the last step?" Jiraiya nodded. "Yep, but it's the hardest of the three." Naruto sighed. "Can you carry me home? I think I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to start it, and I don't think I can walk home right now." Jiraiya picked him up. "Yeah, that's probably a good idea." Naruto had one last question. Can you get me some ramen on the way home?" Jiraiya was starting to understand how Tsunade felt when she made a big bet and lost, big bet and lost. This kid was gonna put a dent in his finances. Still, he had done a great job. "Yeah, I will get you some ramen." Hiyashi watched as the clan members who agreed to help Hinata got their particular kunai ready. They were wooden and blooded, so they would hurt but not kill. Hinata had come close to completing the 8 kg palm rotation, and Neji had completed it only 2 days ago. With just a little more work, Hinata would have it down for sure. Hiyashi called to his daughter, "Remember to pour chakra out of every pore in your body and use your palms to channel it evenly into a dome to protect you." Neji was watching as well, and Hinata's little sister Hanabi yelled over, "You can do it, Hinata!" Hinata was happy to see so many people rooting for her. She motioned for them to begin and got ready to defend herself. They threw all of the practice kunais at her, and she started to spin around with her stuck out. I'm stuck out. She was surrounded by a blue veil of chakra that made a dome around her. Everyone held their breath as the practice kunas got close to the dome. They hit the dome and bounced off. Everyone in the Hyuga training ground started to cheer. Hinata was smiling brightly. She had done it. Hanabi ran up and gave her a hug. "Awesome jobs, Hinata." Neji gave her a small bow. "Well done, Lady Hinata." Hiyashi simply gave her a nod and smile. He told her 5 simple words that made her heart nearly jump out of her chest. "I am proud of you, Hinata." Hinata looked around her at all of the people who were cheering for her. This was one of the best days of her life. Naruto didn't understand at all why he would need to do this. You want me to make a Rasengan without popping the balloon? Can you actually do that? Jiraiya rolled his eyes. Well, yeah, it's the last step in mastering it. You have got the shape down and the power. Now you need to learn how to control it. Once you can use a full Rasengan into the balloon, pop it without popping it, full Rasengan without popping it, then you can start trying to actually use it on things. Naruto liked the sound of that. Be brave. He be he raised the balloon and got to work. Mito was being more careful than she was ever have been in her life. She was just a few minutes from finishing the step from the ceiling jutsu in just 3, 2, 1. That's when Mito screamed, "I did it! I finally did it!" Tsunade looked at her daughter with pride in her eyes. Mito was gonna be one hell of a medic ninja. Good. All you gotta do now is wait for it to gain enough chakra for you to use actually be for some use. We will just practice with your taijutsu until then. Mito wasn't really listening. She was too busy bouncing up and down in excitement. Jiraiya walked up to the training ground and found a small crinkling instead of on all of the trees around uh, uh, all of the trees around the area. You weren't supposed to be start trying it until I got back. Naruto, who was standing next to a tree without breathing, without with next to a tree out of breath, called back. "I know, but you are trekking forever. When did you go? Why did you go? Anyways," Jiraiya pulled a food out of the bag he was carrying. It was mostly fruits and vegetables. Tsunade and Rin have been on my back about you eating too much ramen lately. I wonder why that would be. Naruto smiled like he had no clue what was going on. "Yeah, I wonder why." Jiraiya tossed him an apple out of his bag. "Just get some healthy stuff in your system so they will leave me alone." Naruto caught the apple and got a big bite. Fair enough. Jiraiya took some food out for himself and asked Naruto, "How close have you come?" Naruto pointed to the most recent mark he had made. "I don't know how you'd grade Greenland it, but that's the deepest I have gotten so far." Jiraiya inspected the mark and said, "You are doing alright, considering you just started. You have still got a long way to go though." Naruto knew he was right, but didn't like it. "That sucks. How long do you think it will be?" Jiraiya wasn't sure. "That depends on how hard you work." Naruto scoffed. "In that case, I will have this thing mastered by the end of the week." Jiraiya thought that sounded a little too confident. Mastering the Rasengan in just a week, in one just a week? I'm not sure that's possible. Naruto didn't seem nervous at all. I will have it mastered before the week's out. That's a promise." Jiraiya had to admit it. If anyone could do it, it was Naruto. "We will see, kid. We will see." Sure enough, on the last day of the week, 1 week. How the hell did you master it in 1 week? It took your father almost 3 years to make it, and it took me ages to teach it, and it took him ages to teach it to me. Naruto turned away from the tree he had destroyed and tried to get his sensei's attention. Sensei, Jiraiya just kept yelling to himself. "That shouldn't be even possible." Naruto decided to go home. Jiraiya would come back to the real world eventually, and then he would buy Naruto more ramen. But that's all for this video. If you want to be notified for future parts and other what if, then the best way is by subscribing and turning on the notifications. And if you have Discord, please add me on Discord, because I don't have really that, because I really wanna see who is subscribed to me. So if you have Discord, my user link to the Discord is in the description, so just copy and paste it and I will add you as soon as I get a request. Alright, but that's all for this video. I have to see you in the next one. Bye bye.